What's up? So tonight we will be starting Dawson's Creek Season 1, Episode 1, Pilot. And you guys are probably wondering, back in the reviews, you probably did this already. But yeah, I did do the first episode a couple of years, like 8 months ago. But that's when I was only thinking I didn't have to do this when I didn't have any plans on. I had plans on watching the show, but not reviewing it. But since I decided to go back and rewatch the show, I decided, hey, why not start the reviews of Dawson's Creek? Also, yeah, The Walking Dead recap for season 8 is coming tomorrow. So anyway, this episode starts off with Dawson, played by James Vanderbeek, and his friend Joey, played by Rachel, It's Rachel from Batman Begins, Katie Holmes. Yeah, you don't talk about the actors, but yeah, and they're watching a movie. And Joey's talking about how it's her favorite part. So then they talk about their mom. You do, but then Joey's like, I gotta go, and he's like, why? And she's like, because Dawson, everything's changing. And he's like, you've been staying over here to his house since she was 7. And he's like, well, they're 15 and they're going into high school, so things are changing. They're becoming older. They're becoming older, and they're older people. And he's like, yeah, but you can still hang over here. And she's like, Dawson, I've seen you done a lot of gross things over the years we've been best friends, but there's no way I'm totally sleeping with you. And he's like, I didn't ask for that. And he's like, well, you can still stay over. And she's like, and he's like, okay. So then we get the intro. But the intro is kind of different based on when you're what thing you're watching on the show. Like if you're watching it on streaming by Netflix, you get to hear I Wanna Wait by Paul Cole. But if you're watching it online, you hear Run Like Mad by Jane Arden. I'm hearing Run Like Mad by Jane Arden because that's the one I watched on before they changed it to Netflix. And now it's gone from Netflix, I watched it online and it's on there. So, this is my song. So, I love the song. I know people will be saying, ooh, Paul Cole's version is better. But that's not the one I watched when I originally watched the show. I watched when I originally watched the show through season 3. I watched Run Like Mad, and it became one of my favorite openings, and it basically depicts the show. So anyway, then we see Joey just sitting on a beach by herself when she's attacked by a monster. That person is Pacey, played by Joshua Jackson. And Joey's all mad that and Dawson is doing this whole video idea. But that's when he gets caught the eye of newcomer Jen, played by Michelle Williams. And if you see Michelle Williams in anything like Venom and Venom 2 Let There Be Carnage, you know she's a really good actress. She's really good in this. She and Jen Dawson have some history because they have some history from the past, and yeah, she's only here because her grandfather's arteries exploded, and now he's basically in a coma, and her parents forced her to move in with her grams, and she's like. So she's now a main character. So, yeah. I just don't mention the actor's name, but Dawson's Creek is such a great show. I have to mention the actors' names. So, what happens is that they just so he's like, hey, you're going to school, and she's like, yeah, where? And she's like, they're all going to the same school they're going. And he's like, hey, maybe I can show you around. Getting Joey a bit jealous that Dawson, that this new girl, who's basically just like Veronica from Riverdale before she was Veronica from Riverdale, shows up and gets Dawson's attention. So so then we cut to where Dawson and Pacey work, and the daughter of the store owner is annoying. I dislike her. She basically just tells Pacey that he's basically nothing. And then a hot older woman shows up. Her name is Tamara Jacobs. I don't know the actress's name. I didn't look it up. So I'm just gonna say, and she catches the eye of Pacey. Yeah, Azaria before Azaria. So then what happens is that then we meet Joey's family. Is that her sister and her sister's black boyfriend. This came out in the 2000s. This would not work today. A black boyfriend. It would not work today. So yeah. So then we see Jen's home life and and she goes to see her comatose grandfather, and then and that's when her gram shows up and is like, hey, what's up? And then she's like, come on, pray. And she's like, yeah, that's not a thing. So she's like, hey, what about Dawson? And she's like, you stay away from Dawson. He and Joey have been hanging out for years. You better stay away from him. And she's like, what about Joey? And she's like, oh, Joey. She and Dawson are probably having a secret romance. So Dawson introduces Jen to all the things that are going on in the school, and that's when, and she's introduced, and she bumps into Joey, and Joey's like, yeah, Dawson lives in a fantasy world. So then what happens is that before Dawson and Pacey went to Dawson's house and saw his dad, played by the actor I see in every show I watch, Jay Garrick himself, John Wesley Shipp. He's in every show I watch. He's in he's in this. John Wesley Shipp. They must be paying you big bucks if they're paying you in every show I've seen. John Wesley. And then Dawson starts thinking, maybe his mom is cheating on his dad. And Joey's like, yeah, right, your mom's cheating on your dad. Your dad's like the handsomest guy ever. Yeah, but then he's like, like his mom says, back to you, Bob. The Bobs, the B's are and he notices that there's something off about that. So yeah, so after that, he runs into Jen talking to a guy and is like, hey, you want to come over to his house? Joey, seeing this, gets a little bit jealous and decides to spy on them. But then Jen's grandma is like, come back, and she's like, okay. Yeah, and he's like, hey, let's go to the movies, and she's like, yeah. Also, Pacey discovers that the Tamara from his job is the woman that is his teacher. Azaria. Azaria. Yeah. Pre-Azaria. So, pre-Azar. So, yeah. So, and then she continues just to follow him. Yeah, so Joey decides to makes some jokes at Jen because she's all jealous and stuff. Like, Jen, you back off from her man Dawson. And Dawson says, "Oh yeah, you better stop him. I'm gonna kill you." Dawson's a wielding maniac. Dawson's an accident. But anyway, it's jokes aside. So she made more jokes about Jen and Dawson. And Pacey sees Tamara with another guy, and he's like, "Who's this?" And she's like, "It's nothing, Benji." And he's like, "Benji, huh? What are you the guy from Love Victor?" And he's like, "No, what's Love Victor?" And then she's like, "He invited him professionally." And he's like, "No, I didn't." And then he gets up defending her and then knocks some popcorn on the guy in the back. The guy in the back needs some anger management skills as he punches Pacey out. And then Dawson confronts Joey about her behavior, and she's like, ever since Jen came in town, you've been trying to talk to Jen more than you talk to her." And he's like, "Okay, I like her. What's the big deal?" And she's like, "You're living in some fantasy world. Talk to me when you come back to reality." So yeah. So then Pacey bumps into Tamara, and he's like, "I know what's up. You didn't come into that record store to buy a movie. You only came into that store so you could feel something again, so you don't realize that you're turning 40. And she kisses him, Azaria, but then, unlike Azaria, realizes it's a mistake and he creepily says, "I'll see you in class, Miss Jacobs." This dude is creepy. So yeah. So Dawson takes Dawson takes Jen home, and she's like, "Yeah, if I don't leave, her grands will blow a casket." And then she's like, "Yeah, I'll just pretend we made out and leave." So back at home, Joey's just hiding in Dawson's closet, like the creep that she is. And yeah, the creep that she is. She's hiding in his closet. The creep that she is. And confronts him, saying, "Hey, I don't think I should hang out anymore." And he's like, "Why?" And he's like, "Because you're too busy hanging out with Jen," and more her being jealous. And she's like, "You could tell me what you actually do. What does your dog do?" And he's like, "How do you take him out?" And he's like, "Good." And then he says hi, and then she smiles, and then it's revealed that the mom was really cheating on her husband with the kill anchor, and Joey sees to end the episode. So that was a really good episode. That it was a shocking reveal that the mom was Dawson's mom is cheating on her husband with the kill anchor, and Joey knows. So what's Joey gonna do about it? Well, I'll find in the next episode of Dawson's Creek. So anyway, that's it for this video. And I'll see you next time when we review episode 2 of Dawson's Creek. Yeah. Excited to see what children we're getting on with this show. I love this channel. You guys are the greatest. You guys are the greatest subscribers I've ever had. You guys were able to get us to 183 or 84 subs. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. More videos coming. So yeah, might do a Girl vs. Monster video. Might do an Enchanted video.